action here on 2K Sports. And Grant, you think it's too early in the season to try and forecast where teams are going to end up?
You know, BA, yes and no. I think we have a handful of teams whose fates might already be determined, but we always have a couple of surprise teams that come out of nowhere. That's what makes the season so much fun to watch.
And let's take a look at Boston's starting lineup. Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2. Horford at the 4 with Porzingis at the 5. And it's Brown in at the 3, the small forward. And stolen by Porzingis. Horford against Claxton. Pritchard, the pass to White. And a nice finish on the layup.
Oh, that is impressive stuff from Derek White. Defender in his grill, no problem.
Outside, Williams. Pass to Claxton. Here's Thomas for 3. Rebound Boston. They're coming off a win against the Nuggets.
And that one, the other team could not keep up with them offensively. They were prolific.
Well, let's give some credit to the coaching staff as well, recognizing the weaknesses in that defense and going after each one of them.
Well, the Nets are still feeling the ramifications of trading for James Harden.
You know, BA, consider in that trade they gave away Jared Allen, Harris LeVert, and 4, count them, 4 first-round picks for a total of just 80 games played for James Harden. The reverberations are still being felt.
They double-team Brown. Shot clock at 6. No good, off the front rim.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
And that one is hammered home.
There is just incredible raw athleticism with Cam Thomas. Outstanding use of it on the drive.
And here's Horford for 3. Williams grabs the board. The Nets have gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. Now we'll go to Allie LaForce, who had a chance to talk with head coach Jordi Fernandez.
Their team's biggest concern tonight, the scoring of Jaylen Brown. Coach commenting, quote, Brown has become an elite scorer in this league. Jaylen can have huge nights. We know he's going to score, but we have to limit his easy looks, especially early. Something to watch, BA.
Appreciate the report, Allie. White for 3. No good on the shot. For Brooklyn, they've gone 2 for 5 here in the first. Here's Russell. And unable to get the go-ahead bucket there. Boston's gone 0 for 2 from outside. Russell with the rebound. Thomas against White. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Williams against Brown, and that one's good. That makes him 2 for 3.
Well, this is where the powerful frame and explosive athleticism of Jaylen Brown becomes a problem for the opponent. Nicely done.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan.
Now on the way to the floor. Give it up for Team White.
So the Nets making a switch here. Melton's checked in. Cornette's checked in for Boston. Hauser comes in for Pritchard. 1:57 left to play in the first quarter. From deep, Melton. He buries it from 3.
What you love about D'Angelo Russell, he can impact winning with both his scoring and his passing.
Horford passes to Brown. Brooklyn pulls it in. This game coming after a loss versus the Bulls.
That's a game they'd like to put in the rearview mirror. They know they treated it a little too lightly.
They slept-walk through that entire effort. Way too much talent on the roster for them to let that happen.
Brown inside. Melton covers. Right wing. Here's Horford. And a great assist by Brown as that one goes in.
I love it when Al Horford is challenging defenders to stay with him. Use your physicality, big man.
Melton lays it up and banks it in. Melton's got 5 now.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
And I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Shoots from the line. Outside Russell. Shoots over White. The shot by Russell, no good.
Right now trying to get into a rhythm, but so far this quarter, boy, he is struggling to make anything go down.
I just love his approach coming into tonight. Focused and aggressive.
And so it's Russell who brings up the ball for the Nets. Their last meeting was in this building. They were able to come out on top.
Yeah, they really worked hard to find shots in that one. Some good play calls and energy on the offensive end.
Well, give credit to a couple of their guys for their complete locked-in nature. They were just focused, and they made everything they looked at.
Out to Horford. Shoots over Johnson. Horford can't hit.
Can't blame him. Just trying to take what the defense allows.
And at the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Brooklyn out in front. They're up by 3. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even on the scoreboard so far. And looking at what we've seen from the Nets, what do you think, guys?
Well, they came out with a physical presence and made rebounding a priority.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
They've got Johnson. Trendon Watford is out there with Cameron Thomas. Then there's DeAnthony Melton, and it's Sharp in at the 5, down low. So that's the Nets 5. The kick out to Johnson. Back to Sharp. Clock at 6. And he buries his first look.
Getting enough shots in close to play inside out.
Boston trailing. And the Celtics far and away the best record in the NBA last season, Grant.
Well, they rode that momentum into the playoffs, capturing the franchise's 18th championship, passing the Lakers for the most of any team in the association.
Melton passes to Watford. All right, Doris, you think this heliocentric style of play can lead to championship success?
Brian, this is such a big-time question, and I think a difficult one to answer. By heliocentric, we mean that the best player on your team is making up a greater percentage of the usage, meaning the ball is in their hands more. What that has led to are some of the most efficient offenses in the history of the game. But does it lead to championships? That is the answer to the question we all see.
That one goes. Count it.
And they found a nice flow offensively here in the second period.
Outside Craig. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. For us, it's interesting, but the Nets franchise has never won an NBA championship.
That's absolutely correct, because their titles came before the merger. Now, since they've joined this league, they did go to the finals for a couple of times. Had Jason Kidd, who was the driver of success, but no championship in this modern era.
Nick Claxton, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Russell comes in for Johnson. Ooh, here's White on the drive.
My goodness, how quick off his feet is Nick Claxton?
And they're doing strong work on the glass, a +5 advantage for them.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Nick Claxton, despite his relatively slender frame, is a hard-nosed defender. He said, "I bow down to no one. Every time I step on the court, I always have that chip on my shoulder. That's just the fiery competitor that I am. At the end of the day, I know what I'll hang my hat on. The defensive
Okay, Ali, thanks for that. Pass to Porzingis. Claxton with the block. Here's Russell. Banked it in off the glass. And it's an 11-point Brooklyn lead. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Nets.
Well, so far they've been immensely aggressive on the defensive side, denying easy shots, and it's made a difference in the game.
And the other thing that's working for them tonight, getting out into the open floor, a lot of the damage coming in transition.
Their offense is looking like a well-oiled machine, getting any look they want.
Well, what great game planning, what great execution. It doesn't get much better than this.
Here's White. Again, the miss by Boston.